4, 3, 2.
Hello everybody, welcome back to 3 News Now. I'm Stephanie Haney. It's Monday, February 17th, 2020. It's been a little while since we actually got to get together here on Facebook Live and also on YouTube because we've had some programming changes here at 3 News. We started a brand new TV show from 5 to 6 p.m. It's called, very appropriately, What's New? That's hosted by Betsy Kling and Jay Crawford, and I do the digital anchoring on that show, bringing the digital conversation to the television show, which we also stream on YouTube. So while we were getting that sorted out, we had to take a little bit of a break from 3 News Now, but we are back and we will be seeing each other more regularly, which I am very excited about. So if you're joining me today, if you've watched before, let me know in the comments. I'll be paying attention to the comments as we go along. Say hello, let me know where you're watching from. All right, here are the things that we're going to be covering today. It's a very all-American day when we're discussing our top headlines and trending topics today. I'm going to be giving you an election reminder about the election that's coming up in March. We'll be talking about the Star Spangled Banner a couple of different ways related to Chaka Khan's performance at the NBA All-Star Game and also the new barbecue joint in town. And what's more all-American than baseball? Probably nothing. 3 News is live all week from Arizona as the Indians kick off their full squad of spring training. And then an interesting story about an HGTV TV show that is topping our website today about polyamory and a throuple featured on the show for the very first time. Okay, here's your election reminder. The primary election is coming up in Ohio on Tuesday, March 17th, which also happens to be St. Patrick's Day. Now, as a reminder, we call it a primary election, but it's more than just voting for Democratic presidential candidates if you are a Democrat. If you don't identify as a Democrat, there are lots of other things on the ballot that you'll want to pay attention to. And we also have a link on our website for you to check your sample ballot depending on what county that you're in. But just to give you an example, here in Cuyahoga County alone, some of the things that are on the ballot coming up in March are proposed tax levies for schools, city improvements, our U.S. representative representing the 11th District in Ohio in the House of Representatives, judges, lots of things. So every election is important. This one is important as well if you can make it out to go and vote. Why do we care today? The reason that we care about this today is because tomorrow is the last day for you to be able to register to vote if you want to participate in the March 17th election. Some of you may be able to do that online. If you want to do it online, here are the things that you have to have in order to do that. You have to have an Ohio driver's license or an Ohio identification card number, and then you need to have your name, date of birth, address, and the last 4 digits of your social security number ready to go to fill out that online form. We also have a link to the online registration on our website. If you don't have those things, you will have to either go to the County Board of Elections in your county in person or mail in a form to your County Board of Elections. We also have a link to that form and a link to where you can find the mailing address and the physical address of your County Board of Elections on our website in the 3 News Now story. Now, if you're going to mail it in, it has to be postmarked by tomorrow, so Tuesday, February 18th. That's important today as well because today is President's Day and many post offices may be closed today. Now, some of them have actually decided to remain open. You need to call ahead, I would recommend, checking your local post office to see if they are open. But what is not open today are the County Board of Election offices. So if you're planning on dropping it off in person, tomorrow will be your last opportunity to do that. And we have links as well on our website as a reminder of where those physical locations are, so you can call ahead and make that trip. You know what is open today, though? I know many of you will be very excited about this. Mission BBQ has opened in Mentor today. They've had a soft opening and they've been doing some charity events leading up to this day, but today is the grand opening in Mentor. This is the 4th location in Ohio. It's very popular. There's almost 100 locations across the U.S., and a lot of people think this is very cool. So the joint is known for its patriotic theme. They sing the national anthem every day at noon. Every single day, every location, everyone in the restaurant is invited to belt out the national anthem. So if you're a fan of the Star Spangled Banner, it might be the place for you. The Star Spangled Banner, though, was in the news over last night and today. Lots of people reacting to Chaka Khan's performance of the national anthem at the NBA All-Star Game. It sounded mostly pretty good. Now, this is coming from someone who literally cannot carry a tune in a bucket, couldn't do it to save my life. So as I was listening to it, I was thinking to myself, this is actually pretty good. And then we got to a few key moments during the high notes, and people are saying that she seemed really off-key, particularly during those high notes. Just taking a look at the comments here for you. Thank you all for joining me here from Mercer County, Lake County, Ohio. Hi from Sheffield Lake. Great to have you all joining us today. So as Chaka Khan was belting out the national anthem, hitting those high notes, a lot of people were taking issue with it and saying that they were not loving it, even comparing it to the 2018 national anthem performance by Fergie, which Fergie later admitted it did not strike the right note. So Chaka Khan hasn't talked about this, but there is some speculation that some people are saying that it was a form of protest. There was one tweet in particular that said that Chaka Khan, at the age of 66, chose to change the key of the national anthem rather than taking a knee, like former San Francisco 49ers quarterback Colin Kaepernick, who was not able to get a position back in the NFL after he started that protest against police brutality and racial inequality. So that's what some people are saying. Other people, of course, were making jokes about her, quote, murdering the national anthem as a form of protest. Not necessarily in the best taste there, but those jokes were being made. So some people saying she maybe legitimately was protesting. Some people are just making jokes about it not being a great performance. Chaka Khan has not commented on this, so we don't know if it's actually true or just wild speculation. All right, speaking of sports, the all-American pastime that many of us love, baseball, the first signs of that coming back to us are here. The Cleveland Browns are at their spring training in Arizona, in Goodyear, Arizona, and 3 News is live there all week this week as they kick off their spring training. 3 News morning anchor Dave Chudowski is there, and this is the first full squad workout today, starting today. One of the things that we have to look forward to about Dave being in Arizona for spring training is he's going to have a chat with shortstop Francisco Lindor about his contract situation. Lindor previously said at Tribe Fest when 3 News was there, he said that he does want to stay in Cleveland. He really loves being here in Cleveland, but the money has to be right. And we've talked about this a lot on different live streams, of course, with our sports news team, our Ben Axelrod, our Matt Florjancic. Francisco Lindor is the top contender to make a lot of money, and the Indians have never paid a player the kind of money that Lindor is expected to command. So we'll see what happens, but Lindor does say that he wants to stay here in Cleveland. He would love to be here, so we would definitely love to have him. He's incredibly talented. It'd be great if we can work that out. We'll find out more about that this week while Dave Chudowski is out in Arizona enjoying the wonderful weather. We actually don't have that bad of weather here, but it's not the weather that they're having in Arizona right now. All right, and for our last story today, something that is topping our website today, HGTV featured a polygamous relationship this week for the first time ever. And polyamory can take many forms, so they chose to feature a throuple, which is a play on the word couple, but the number 3. It's 3 people in a relationship that are committed to each other. So it's not monogamy in the traditional form, but these are 3 people who are committed to each other, not having outside relationships outside of that 3-person relationship that's going on. So this was featured on HGTV's House Hunters. The show was titled Three's Not a Crowd in Colorado Springs. Quite the pun there, and it featured Angelica, who goes by Geli, and Brian and Lori while they were house shopping in Colorado Springs. Now, Brian and Lori were married in 2002. They have 2 children, and they said they ran into Geli at a bar and immediately fell in love with her, and their throuple started, and it blossomed into what it is today, where they're at the step where they're actually shopping for a house together. So, of course, this just makes perfect sense. Some of their must-haves include a 3-car garage and a master bedroom that can fit 3 sinks. So as we said, Brandon and Lori, they got married in 2002, and then they met Geli. Right before filming of this episode, which aired last Wednesday, the 3 of them went to Aruba, and they had a commitment ceremony in Aruba where they all exchanged vows together as a group to express their commitment to each other. I know this might sound very unique to us being an audience here in Northeast Ohio. Maybe there are people in your life that you know of that you just don't know are part of a throuple, because NBC News reported that consensual non-monogamy, which includes polyamory, is actually not uncommon. So this was a 2016 study, so that was a couple years ago, so it may even be more common today than it was in the past. But this study found that over 20% of the several thousand adults that were surveyed in this study had at some point in their lives been part of a non-traditional romantic arrangement. So 1/5 of the adults surveyed part of a non-traditional romantic relationship. That's what this would fall into category-wise if we're talking about their romantic situation. I actually had the opportunity to talk with a throuple out of Colorado myself, and I asked the person who had joined, the third person to join the relationship, what it was that was appealing to them about this, why they would want to come into an already existing relationship. And the response was really thoughtful, so I wanted to share it with all of you. That person told me that they decided to join the relationship because they had been having trouble romantically and they saw something that was working well for 2 other people, and they wanted to join in something that was already working well, and they thought that was the best opportunity for them to have a healthy relationship. And the 3 of them, to my knowledge, are still very happy today. So lots of different arrangements out there, whatever works for everybody. HGTV doing a good thing here by putting this out for the universe so that we can all learn a little bit more about how other people choose to live. All right, that has been your top headlines and trending topics today on 3 News Now. I'm Stephanie Haney. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you to everyone who let me know where you're joining us from. Hi to Charles and Marietta. We had somebody here from Lake County. Someone said the Cleveland Browns are in Arizona for training camp. Maybe I misspoke. Obviously, I'm talking about the Cleveland Indians. I don't know if I said the Browns. I don't think I did. But if I did, I apologize. I was definitely talking about the Cleveland Indians. Thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it. Again, if you're not already doing so, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's at youtube.com/user/WKYCTV. Our Facebook page, where you can also find us, that's facebook.com/WKYC.channel3. Also, find me on Instagram, on Twitter. My username is _Stephanie Haney. Let's keep this conversation going. Let me know what's trending for you, what's on your mind, and we can include that in our next 3 News update. We'll see you next time.